Isaiah chapter 40, verse 31. It says from the New King James Version that, but those who wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. If you have the New Living Translation, it says, but those who trust in the Lord will find new strength. They will soar high on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not faint. This scripture is a very powerful scripture, especially for us who are, can call them kingdom professionals, marketplace ministers, or for us who are very passionate about our careers, our businesses, and at the same time, we desire to have a very impactful relationship with God and use that to cause change in the society through the work that we do. There is something I call the eagle's mentality for dominance. The eagle's mentality for dominance. The eagle's mentality for dominance. That's what we're going to talk about today. I believe and I know and I have experienced that there is a certain level of success that before you attain that level of success, you need to possess and manifest the eagle's mentality for dominance. And that mentality is so powerful, it's so exceptional that it can set you apart from your peers. It can set you apart in your sector. It can set you apart in among your competition or competitors. The ability to practice the eagle's mentality, to consciously, intentionally practice the eagle's mentality, can become a competitive edge, a competitive strategy in the work that you do, can set you apart, can increase your ability to manifest significant result in a different dimension. In every sector, in every industry, there are people that can manifest predictable results. There are people that can manifest results that when you look at, you say, no, this is not from a normal place. This is not usual. This is not predictable. This is another dimension of hard work. This is another dimension of the grace of God for the result that you're manifesting. And as mentees, I want to charge us today not to operate just from an average mentality, not to operate from a mediocre mentality. Start manifesting the eagle's mentality for dominance, because that alone, for many of you, is just that little separation from the result you desire and where you are today. There's something about the eagle. Eagles are trained from birth. Eagles are trained from birth to reign in the air above and through difficult realms. Eagles are trained from birth to reign in the air above and through difficult realms, which will kill other birds who venture into them. Yes, there are some realms that the eagle operates from. There are some realms that the eagles can venture into. If an average bird can venture into that realm, that bird is going to die. That bird may lose oxygen. That bird may not be able to compete at that realm. Because there are some certain heights, there are some certain strength that the eagles manifest that an average bird cannot manifest. And that is the same for us. That is the same for us humans. There are some levels of realms that we can operate from based on our consciousness and intentionality and training and investment that set us apart in our field. If other people try to abruptly participate in that same realm without proper training, they are going to die. They are going to crash. So I want to start challenging us to start training ourselves. And if some of us are already in that realm, maintain that realm, because that may just be that one thing that if you maintain consistency in that area, it is going to separate you from many players in your field and make you stand out and make you a reference. The truth is that if you're a sincere, hardworking professional, if you're a sincere, hardworking businessman, there is one thing that you always desire: to become a reference in your sector, to become somebody that others can quote and reference to. This is how things are supposed to be done because this person is doing like this, or this person did like this and manifested this kind of result. Eagles are trained from birth to reign in the air above and through difficult realms, which will kill other birds who venture into them. You are trained from birth. But let me tell you, somebody once said that one of the most powerful innovation on earth is the ability to alter human behavior, is the ability to change human behavior for the better. That's one of the most powerful innovation of earth, on earth. So it therefore means that there are some things that some of us must have not been doing that qualify us to operate with the ego's mentality, that we can start doing them today after listening to this teaching. Because there is that ability to alter human behavior and become better in how you do things. And the ego's mentality is all about taking actions in a certain dimension. It's about doing hard things. It's about doing things beyond the average way of doing things. It's about doing things beyond the way an average performer, an average human being will do it. That's the ego's mentality for dominance. Things that you will do them effortlessly because you have trained yourself to do it, because you have consciously prepared yourself to start operating from that realm, because you have disciplined yourself to operate from that realm. You will do it effortlessly because you have that ego's mentality, that ego's ability, because you have trained yourself into that ego's realm, that you will do it easily. But others who have not gone through the training, or who have not developed that intentionality, that self-discipline, that commitment, if they look at what you're doing and they abruptly try to start doing it, it's going to kill them. That new realm can kill them. That new capacity can kill them. That new way of doing things can kill them, can challenge them, and they're not able to cope. For example, if you are somebody who has been studying, getting up at 3 a.m. every day and studying for the past 1 year or 6 months, and you have been maybe sleeping just maximum 4 hours, you have trained yourself over the years, over the few months, to start operating from that realm of disciplining yourself to study, to become better, to work on your projects 3 a.m., 4 a.m. every day for 1 year or 6 months. That is a realm. There are some people that if they try that, they can fall sick. I remember one time working with somebody and she was so super lazy that they're pushing her. You need to start making sure that you don't sleep more than 5 hours a day. Start from there. When she did for the first 3 days, the fourth day she fell sick because she's not used to that. But that's a realm that some people get to operate from. It's effortlessly. Effortlessly. So it is our responsibility to start taking things to another level. We should stop operating like average birds. We should stop performing like every other bird. We should stop performing like just a normal bird who cannot do things extraordinary and expect to manifest the ego's results. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. There was this research I was reading. I don't understand how true that research is, but to a certain extent, it is very true and very practical. Very true and very practical. And that is a very powerful research that talks about the difference between the eagle's mentality and an average mentality, or an average bird mentality. Okay. Now, the research says that, or science, I was reading that thing on inc.com. Science say that only 8%, only 8% of the world's population get to reach at the pinnacle of their success. Only 8% of the world's population get to operate from another dimension that qualifies them to live a successful life. What does that mean? It means that only 8% of the global population get to live a successful life. In other words, only 8% of us here, there are 23 of us right now in this Zoom call. All of you, 22 of you are mentees. Only 8% of you will end up operating at the pinnacle of your success in career and business. But that's just a science, that's just a research. But it can be altered. You can decide to be among the 8%. We can all decide and succeed at the pinnacle and reach the pinnacle of our success and challenge this proven research. This was a research done by University of Scranton, a proven research that the university paid time to do, to look at high performers, to look at productive people. And that research proved something. It proved that average successful people who get to operate at the pinnacle, I mean, high achievers and productive people get to read a minimum of at least 25 to 28 books a year. Let me tell you, average performers, low performers, or the rest 92%, very few of them get to read up to 10 books a year. We can do a scenario here right now. We are 28, 23 of us right now. If you read 2021 last year, if you read 15 books a year, if you read 15 books last year, started and finished 15 books, raise up your hand in the chat box, let me see. If you know confidently that you read 15 books a year, you read 15 books last year, raise up your hand. Started, completed. Okay, so you see, out of 23 people, including me now, that would be 3 out of 23. How much percentage is that? Just 3 people out of 23 of us. How much percentage is that? Let's calculate. I don't want to not just do the number. I want to calculate it, right? Oh, that's 13%. Look at the number. So out of 23 of us here, 24 of us here, only 3 of us completed 15 books plus. That's minimal. Like if we take it to the real 25, between finishing 25 to 27 books, the number may drop to 1 or 2. And the percentage drops. You see it? Now, another research also stated that these people who have reached the pinnacle of their careers, who have reached the pinnacle of their success in building businesses and building their careers, they were able to work at least 14 to 16% every day on their business or career for more than 7 years plus. That means every day they're working on their business, they're working on their career every day for a period of 7 years plus. They're respecting their 10,000 hour rule. Meaning that maximum these people get to sleep for maximum 4 hours, 5 hours, maximum. Like for a period of 7 years plus, these people work every day for at least 15 hours on their careers in their business. And when they add other things like family and stuff, they get to end up sleeping just 4 to 5 hours every day. If you know that for the last 7 years, you consistently 4 a.m. has not made you in bed for the last 7 years, raise up your hand. If you know that consistently, let me go there. Let's start from 1 year. 1 year. The whole of last year, you consistently 4 a.m. did not meet you in bed. I know there are some days you can feel sick, your body can be tired, all of that. Excluding that, if you know that the whole of last year, from January last year to December last year, you consistently beat sleep, you beat your bed, and you were up at 4 a.m. without, and 4 a.m. to doing the right things, not 4 a.m. to watch film, not 4 a.m. to just loiter on social media and do nonsense. You are up dedicating that time to work on the right projects, dedicating that time to code, that time to study, that time to write a book, that time to write a project, that time to develop something that is critical, to work on something critical for your business, something critical for your career, something critical for your education, something critical for what you're trying to build. So we have what? 2 people, what do you mean 3 out of 25 people? That is the ego's mentality. That is it, the ability to do that, to wake up consistently at 4 a.m., 3 a.m. every day without complaining, without unnecessary excuses. That is the ego mentality. If other people try that without proper intentionality, without proper training, they're going to get sick. They're going to give up, forget about sick. They'll try that, but all this waking up, what is it for self? Let me enjoy, let me sleep my life. Same for reading of books. Reading 15 plus, 20 plus books a year, that is for egos. An average bread will not even finish 1 book a year. There are many of us here that we started, we did not finish 1 book. All the books we started, they are halfway. Well, we don't have 1 complete book that we have read. This goes same to work in the workplace. This goes same in our business place. It takes an entrepreneur with an ego's mentality to consistently do marketing the right way, consistently every day for 365 days. It takes an employee with an ego's mentality to consistently be at work on time without going late for the whole year, without complaining, without giving excuses. It takes an employee with an ego's mentality to completely finish all tasks in the office on time and submitting them. Having the right character, the right behavior, having the right emotions, consistently producing results for the customers and for the business. It takes an employee with an ego's mentality to go back to school and get a certification, to go back to school, get a master's, get a degree, get a PhD, get a DBA, get an MBA, so that you can upgrade your skills and your ability to perform in a higher dimension. Others will look at the money of spending and say, no, what, this is not worth it. I cannot go and spend a few millions on an MBA. No, what, let me enjoy my life. Let me go for vacation. Those things are not bad. But it takes priorities. Ego's mentality. An ego's mentality gets you to a point where you train yourself. You are consciously training yourself to reign and do things above difficulties, to reign and do things and rise and above mediocre. You train yourself to do hard things, to do things that if your peers venture into it, they are going to crash. It's going to take them time to catch up. There's this prayer point they always pray in the Pentecostal churches a lot. They seem to pray that prayer point in Pentecostal churches. They always pray that you will shine among your peers. You'll be this among your peers. You will outshine your peers and all of that. Oh, that is a very good prayer point. Then I always ask a simple question. Are you willing to outwork your peers? Are you willing to outperform your peers? You will shine among your competition. Oh, yes. Are you willing to outperform your competitors? Are you willing to outshine, to outwork them? Are you willing to dedicate them? If you're working against that competition, if they're going to work like entrepreneurs, your fellow entrepreneurs are going to work at 7 a.m., closing at 11 p.m., 10 p.m. You're going to work at 8 a.m., you're closing at 4 p.m. Do you think you're going to compete with them? Some people are going to start talking about smart work and all of that. Yes, smart work is good. But as I always say, for smart work to work, hard work must be there. For technology to work, which is a tool that enhances smart work, there must be some level of hard work into that technology to produce the result that nobody else can be able to manifest. I want to challenge us on today. I've told you guys several times, there is a special grace for success that is released to some people depending on the level of hard work they put into their lives, to their vision, to their dreams, to their destiny. There's a level of favor, success. There's a level of grace for success that will never be released upon you if you have not paid the price of hard work. Never, never. You like you pray for that grace, it will never be released. You only earn that grace when you have done your part of hard work. Hear this, somebody. The grace of God will remain frustrated on any life that doesn't work hard. Laziness frustrates the grace of God. Mediocrity frustrates the grace of God. Complaints and excuses frustrate the grace of God. But show me somebody with an ego's mentality for dominance and hard work, the grace of God works marvelously on that person's life. That person handles and achieves some things in their career and business effortlessly. Let us stop blaming divinity and transferring entitlement to divinity when our humanity is too lazy to do our part. Divinity is helpless without humanity doing his or her own part, and that is you. That is you. So let us stretch today. Let us refuse to be average today. Eagles are strong. Eagles are aggressive birds. Excuses is not part of them. They're aggressive when they see a prey. You need to be aggressive regarding your goals, regarding your daily goals, your weekly priorities. You need to be aggressive regarding your main goal for the year. You need to be aggressive regarding your 12 months growth action plans for the year. You need to be aggressive. You don't need to avoid joining other people to complain about the country. Avoid joining other people to complain about, oh, there's bad this, bad that. Blaming, everybody tries to blame. This is what you've been around me. There's never a day you've heard me blaming that, oh, this Cameroon is like this, Cameroon is like that, oh, this is like this, it's a very bad country, it's this and that. Stop expecting the land that you curse to bless you. I am not saying that we have the best leadership. I am not saying that we have the best government. I'm not saying that we have all of that. But I'm saying that become like an eagle who has decided that in the midst of difficulty, I will reign. In the midst of the storm, I will display. The eagle sees storm and difficulties as the opportunity to display its strength and dominance. See the challenges in this country as the opportunity for you to shine and do things that others will look at you and reference to say, but wait, how is this guy able to manifest these things? How is this young lady able to manifest this thing in a difficult country like this? It takes a certain mentality to operate from that level. I believe this teaching is a deliverance to some people. Some of you have been really lazy in mentorship, really lazy, not committed, allowing a lot of things to outshine you, to influence you. We've got from today, this is a teaching instructor. We've got to break out from today, intentionally break out from today. As I said earlier, the eagle can fly higher than most other birds, see long distances with their amazing eyesight. You go higher in your hard work. You go higher in your dreams. You go higher in your vision. You look at you begin to look at your vision with long distance. You don't see your vision now. You see your vision tomorrow. You see your vision 10 years from now. You keep putting the hard work. Although every day you're working hard, you're not seeing the result you want to manifest. That doesn't mean that you should stop. Because you have the ego's mentality, you have a long eyesight. You begin to see what I'm working on right now. I'm seeing it 10 years from now. I'm seeing it 5 years from now. I'm seeing the results 15 years from now. Let me tell you something. There's one thing that kept me going and never to give up was that I don't know what happened, but I started seeing in 2015, I used to tell myself, you know what? I'll keep working hard. I'll start seeing what my career can give me in 2020. In 2013, I used to know that the things I desire, many of them will not manifest. My job, I would tell myself, your job is to take it one day at a time. Your job is to put in the right work one day at a time. Your job is to give it time. Give it 5 years, give it 7 years, give it 10 years, and you're going to see what's going to happen. That was what I used to tell myself. That was my mentality. I used to have the long eyesight. The ego sees long distances. The ego's look has a long vision. With the ego's mentality, look at yourself. Look at what you have passion about right now. Look at that career you have chosen, but don't look at it right now. Try to anticipate. Many of you have told you guys, anticipate. Give it 2 years. Give it 3 years. And I told you guys, many of those things I don't say just from the place of analysis. I say it from a deeper place. And that's one thing about mentorship. Some of you, if you are not willing to wait when I say wait, you're not willing to say go when I say go, then you don't deserve to be a mentee. Because mentorship means you respect and listen. Like many of you have seen me, you're doing something, you're just starting, you're already feeling frustrated with results. You have not yet mastered the principle of the process. You have not mastered the principle of the hard work. And there's one thing I keep teaching you guys. There's a place for spirituality, time, and success in business and career. Respect that. Stop desiring things you have not yet earned. Stop desiring things you are not qualified for. Even Jesus went through a process. Even Jesus fasted for 40 days and 40 nights. Is he not the Son of God? But he had to go through that process. Even Jesus waited for 30 years to be trained in order to do ministry just for 3 years and leave a lasting legacy. And even I said earlier, the egos are trained from birth. There are some results will only manifest after training, and your training can be a trials error. Your training can be the process you're going through right now. Your training can be that those actions you're taking with all your heart and you're manifesting only mediocre results, only peanut results, only small results. That could be your training. And it's seen the things happen that you have been desiring for to happen. The ego's mentality. Don't just look at your immediate vision. Stop looking at immediate goals and comparing to your ultimate vision. That's what some of you are doing. You're looking at daily goals, you're looking at weekly goals, and trying to compare with the ultimate results that are way to 5, 3, 4, 10 years ahead. Okay. So it's very important for us to know that it is possible to achieve certain things. It is possible to achieve certain things, but we have a responsibility. We have to beat the game. And we need to know, not everybody's going to make it. Not everybody's going to do what is required. And I've taught you guys about always doing what is required, not what you feel like doing. Feelings will never produce incredible results. When it was 4 a.m., you either had to do what is required, get up from bed and be part of this mentorship session, or you had to respect your feelings and stay in bed and enjoy your bed. The marketplace doesn't care whether you're from a poor family. The marketplace doesn't care whether you're lazy. The marketplace doesn't care whatever feelings you think that are relevant. The marketplace only respects if you do what is required and bring to the table the value that is required. Don't bring your feelings to the table. Bring your value to the table. Do what is required. That is what the marketplace requires you to do, to put in 10, 15 hours of work. Put it, not your feelings. Egos do what is required, not their feelings. There are what, 50 plus mentees in the WhatsApp group, in the mentorship WhatsApp group. How many do we have here? 24. Not half. Remember the research? Just about 8% of the world's population will reach the pinnacle of their success. Some of us are not performing low because of village people. Some of us are not performing low because of witches and wizards. Some of us are not performing low because people are jealous of us. We are not performing at the highest level because we are our greatest enemies. Our bad choices, bad actions, poor decisions, poor commitments. They are responsible. They are preventing us from manifesting at the highest level. From today, develop the ego's mentality. Begin to do what others are not willing to do so you can handle what others are not ready to handle. Then and only then, you will start becoming a reference. Then and only then, you will start operating incredible results and significant results that you will also look at yourself and feel proud of how far you've come and feel confident of how far you can go. We have to change. Many of us have to upgrade ourselves. There are many of us who have not been, there are many mentees that have not been able to finish the phase 1 of the mentorship program. Phase 1. There are many of you know, they have not been able to complete it. Just to do the right things every day for 35 days. It's a big challenge for many people. But they want to wake up tomorrow and try to replicate success. They want to wake up tomorrow and desire to be like me or be like somebody who the role model that they admire in their various industries. Before you admire and covet somebody's anointing, before you admire and covet somebody's grace, before you admire and covet somebody's glory, check what they're doing that is required behind the scenes. Check the pain. Check what they're sacrificing behind the scenes that is not in public. Check it out and start coveting what they're doing. If you check and notice that they study 5 hours a day, okay, start doing that. If you check and see that, oh, 3 a.m. don't meet them in bed, start doing that. If you check and see that they don't do 9 to 5, they don't do 8 to 4 work, they do 7 to 11 p.m., 7 to 10 p.m., okay, start doing that. Check and see if they remove money and pay for certifications, pay for trainings, go to pay for sponsor their education, okay, start doing that. Stop converting the glory without converting the process. Check how long they have put in it and start being able to put that. And I've told you guys several times, anybody who has operated from a dimension that is not normal, go and check how long they have invested, how long they have sacrificed to be at that level. It's not 2 years, it's not 3 years, it's not 5 years. Science and proof has shown that it's a minimum of consistent hard work in the right direction, doing the right things every day for 7 years minimum plus. Check them from business to career to music to football. Check it. Go and pick anybody you admire and read their story. Google search them. You'll be amazed. Some people sit and look at Beyonce and say she's Illuminati, that's why she's a celebrity, one of the world's legendary celebrities. Oh no, it's beyond that. Beyonce would train to dance and blood will ooze out of her toes. Beyonce will practice in the studio, sing, practice and forget to eat and end up collapsing and going off. So say Michael Jackson, one of the world's greatest humans ever existed in the entertainment industry. Go and read his history of training. So we talk about Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant, before 10 a.m. during every day, he has trained 2 times. He wakes up early, 3, 4 a.m., and he starts training. And he became one of the world's greatest basketballers. Check them, guys. Check the Dangotes. I was reading one article. Dangote, there was a year that Dangote went to work every day at 11 p.m. while people are closing. So he spends the whole of the day having meetings. And then while people are leaving the office at 10, 7 p.m., that's when he's going to the office and leaves in the morning at 3 a.m. He goes and rests and start his day back at his age.